From the very beginning, we have always sought to reach out to one another, and storytellers found a new forum for personal expression. Wondrous new tools will help us learn to bridge the gaps between us.
Hi. Good morrow, nerds. I am coming at you again from the floor. In these past couple weeks, the multiverse has decided to flip its pancakes once more, and the chaos magic has struck. Many changes happening, all for the better, but I needed an easier, or at least more laid-back video while I'm figuring all of that out, and traveling to make more cool videos for you guys. And while I've been preparing to travel, I went to sleep and woke up again, and we nerds have become 15,000. That's scary. I'm proud of it. That's more souls than some ancient demons had in their dark armies. So we're gonna do a Q&A. I mean, that's what people do when they hit these landmarks, right? That's the thing to do. I took questions from patrons on Patreon back in November for a special offer I was doing. These questions are just from them this time, but if you do want to ask questions, you'll get a chance if that is something that you're invested in. Just, I guess, hang out till the end of the video. I'll explain more. I'm just gonna say their first names because I feel like I don't want to put anybody's names on a public video unless I know for sure they want that to happen. The first question is from Jess. What things are you excited about in the future of LARP and cross-media immersive entertainment, like the Shanghai Disney and Star Wars Land, immersive music festivals like Boomtown, AR stuff, etc.? Well, I am ridiculously excited for Disney's Star Wars Land, not because I am a particular fan of Star Wars. I like Star Wars, but I didn't grow up with it. It's not my home fandom. I'm excited because this is the exact right type of exposure that I think immersive experiences need. I think Disney coming together, bringing their level of commitment to immersion in an environment with Star Wars, one of the most popular franchises of all time, I think it's going to be really hard to argue that LARP is just a silly little niche hobby for children or childish people, you know? Like, I think that will really make the stigma hard to justify once they come together for that. Beyond that, more than any one event, I think I'm most excited for just the development of virtual reality and that technology, because I think that that's what's going to make LARP accessible to almost anyone once it reaches a certain point. And that's my whole jam. The next question is from Kayla. Hello. Hi. In a recent video, you mentioned how Brian Froud's illustrations have inspired some of your work. What other illustrators or artists do you love? Okay, I'm gonna butcher some names real quick, but there's Loish. I discovered her, and I think Makani is her name. I'll link those two in the description, but I stalked them on DeviantArt for most of my formative art school years. There's also, of course, Alan Lee. Whoever did the covers for most of the Fables comic books, I was really obsessed with that. And Tony DiTerlizzi? I'm gonna put some text up here for that. And Brom. I mentioned Brom in that same video. He wrote The Child Thief and did the illustrations for it. I didn't even realize that I had been a fan of Brom for so long, but I realized that the covers of some fantasy novels that I had been kind of obsessed with as a tween were actually done by him, and I just discovered retroactively that I've been attracted to his work for a long time. Those are pretty much the people that I've been obsessed with for about 400 years. The next one is from Samantha. Thank you so much for doing this. You're welcome. I didn't think anyone would be that interested, but you're still welcome. Where did your love of ravens come from? Is it a specific event/story? So this actually does have a very specific answer, and without getting into a really long and weird story, I'm just gonna say that one part of my full name is Rain. I might say my full name someday on this. You know what? No, I don't need my true name on the internet. I'm gonna leave my true name out of this, but one part of my name is Rain. And I was given that name because specifically of some folklore associations with rain and ravens and renewal and that sort of thing. So I was essentially named after ravens in a weird, cool folklore way. And that's always sort of stuck with me. I've always been interested in them and the sort of symbolism that they have outside of just being scary omens of death. And as I grew older, I started to relate to aspects of corvids in general more and more. They're very sort of family and pack oriented. They look out for each other. They're extremely resourceful, and they have long memories, generational memories. They're really quite incredible creatures and also quite misunderstood, I think. The extent to which corvids take care of each other really speaks to me and my obsession with friendship magic. So it's a thing that I was sort of born with that has evolved with me as I've grown. The next question is from Aaron. Hi, Az. Hello. I have a question for the special offer. It is thus. I like your prose, sir. When thrift shopping, do you find it easier to go with a plan, or do you wander, waiting inspiration? Thank you, and I can't wait for all the new funness to come. I can't wait to share the funness with you guys. For me, when I thrift, I find it easier to go in without a plan. I think that if I go in with a specific idea, I limit myself a little bit. If I know I need to thrift part of a costume, I have a lot more fun going in, seeing what pieces are in there that are cool, and then building a look around that. And it kind of saves time. You can spend a lot of time looking for something that's exactly right, when really you could be building something interesting and new based on a piece that's just as good, it's just not what you expected. I think that keeps things fun. The next question is from David? I'm sorry, I've never asked you how to pronounce this before. We've talked plenty. You played a Jones at a game. I'm awkward. Please correct me. Thank you. Anyway, your question. Please tell us the character you've enjoyed playing the most, PC or NPC, at a LARP event. Whew, wow, okay, that's a big old question. Petra, of course, was my very first LARP character. I learned so much through her. I healed parts of myself that needed healing through her, and through her I met people who I will be friends with for the rest of my life, so I couldn't not say Petra for this one. Also, she's a character that allowed me to just sort of relax into the parts of my different brain type, my ADHD or possibly undiagnosed dyspraxia. I'm getting evaluated, but I have a different brain type, and she allowed me to relax into the traits that I am sort of constantly masking. I have a lot of mental energy, I have a lot of excitement and enthusiasm for things. I'm incredibly forgetful as far as working memory, which means immediate things you need to remember, like where your keys are, like schedules and things like that, just gone. But long-term memory is actually pretty good. So being Petra sort of allowed me to not pretend like I'm good at things that I'm not. Like, I didn't have to try so hard to be less like me in a way. So she was also very relieving to play in that way. But second to her, I think I would have to say Zephyr at Marked A School for Heroes. There's so much about that game that I loved, and hopefully I'll get the resources soon to finish that video and tell all of you guys all about it. But I have almost never felt quite as at home as I felt when I was playing a grumpy space fish princess. This question is from Jeff, but the actual question is signed Jess, so one of those. How do I not just play aspects of myself turned up to 37? You don't. You play aspects of yourself turned up to 100 and then give them some diametrically opposed personality traits. Like if you're a whimsical, happy-go-lucky forest spirit type. Also be a knight of death. I'm really not good at the thing that you have asked advice on, so this is just what I do instead. I'm sorry. The next question is from Tara, or Tara. They say, first of all, I love your quality and content. Thank you. You put a lot of love into what you do, and it absolutely shows. Thank you. A question that I have would be, what's the first word that comes to mind when you think of how you felt after your first LARP event? Well, I think I would probably have to say activated. Yes. Activated. Unlocked. Like a video game character. Oh, the next question is from Britt. Hi Britt, it's been fun interacting with you across social media. What is your favorite book you read as a child, and what was it you loved about it? I don't know if I had one favorite book, but a book that I loved a lot as a kid was Tatterhood. It was about two sisters. One was so perfect and well put together and angel-faced, like my sister is, and the other one, dressed in a weird red cape and rode around the castle on a goat wielding a wooden spoon, causing trouble. You know, like me. It meant a lot to have a story about a lovable disaster who ended up saving the day, and that's what that story was. I really loved Tatterhood. The next question is from Thomas. Do you plan to make a review of all the blockbuster LARPs you've made along the years? If you mean like one video about all of them and just talking about things I liked and didn't like and like comparing all of them in one video, I actually hadn't thought of that, and that is an interesting idea. But if you're talking about separate videos for every one of them, I make them as fast as I can, as I am able to. A lot of them sometimes are waiting on a specific prop or some resources that I don't have quite yet, and I need those to finish the videos, so I make them to the best of my ability, and I put them out as often as I can. So, thank you guys who are asking these questions for your support, because that enables me to get those videos out faster and better. My voice is beginning to get a little froggy. And the last question is from Debbie. They say, as someone who's sailing the seas of chaos, how do you navigate? You don't. But, meaning, oh, they clarify, what methods do you use to either organize your thinking or steer it in the general direction of your goals? Okay, this is interesting. I have started bullet journaling recently. I could go get it in a second and show you guys a little bit. I started bullet journaling, and I actually really like that. With my brain type, there's only so much you can fix about the disorganized part, but it really has helped quite a bit, and it's helped me organize my thoughts a little bit too. I feel like with writing down the tasks and goals that I have, it sort of frees up bandwidth, so to speak, and so I'm finding it much easier to focus and feel a little less overwhelmed, even by just writing out the things that I have to do and want to do. I also have a support network of incredibly talented, helpful, and creative people. They're constantly inspiring me, and I'm constantly learning from them, and they always remind me what's important to me in what I do here, in my art. It's very easy to stay focused when people are very supportive of what you're doing. I could not oversell the value of a good support network and good friendships, and I'm so lucky to be where I am in my life right now, where I have all those people. I'm not ready to cry on YouTube yet. So now we've come to the end. 10 questions, I think that's good. Because we've become 15,000 strong, I am going to do another character Q&A video, but I am going to do it with Willow Jones from the Jones Multiverse Vlogs, because a lot of things are happening with that I'm very excited about. You guys actually have a much better idea of who this character is than any other character because there are whole vlogs of her story and her personality and her universe. So in the comments, if you have a question that you would like to ask Willow, or if you have a question that you think would be hilarious to watch Willow try to answer, put it in the comments. Leave it in there, and you know, we'll see what happens. Let's keep it relatively PG, you guys, but barring that, it can be pretty much anything. It could be life advice, although I don't know why you would want that from this particular character. So that'll be fun. Ooh. Ooh. Someone feels the need to have a loud vehicle. I wonder why that could be. Okay, thank you so much for becoming 15,000 strong with me. Feel free to check out the Patreon for more videos, behind the scenes stuff, or the Ko-fi, or whatever. I mean, you guys are supporting just by being here. That's all I've got for you. I'm gonna get off the floor, gonna get onto the bed. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, emotional outbursts, rants, keep some of those to yourself. Oh no. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for liking us, subscribing to us, and fighting with us. It's very cool of you. Bye.